So let's begin this. Okay, I'm just brushing up the yesterday's session. Okay, uh, Azure Data Engineering. So guys, when we talk about the Azure Data Engineering, so guys, the Azure Data Engineering is what? Basically, this is a cloud service, guys. It is what? It is the cloud service. So hence we can say this is a bunch of cloud services. Okay. So what are the cloud services provided in this? Yes, guys, what are the cloud services provided in this? So we have, what is it? Azure Data Engineering is a bunch of cloud services. So the following are the cloud services. We have it. The first one, we have it as what? ADF. And the second one, we have it as the ADB. So ADF stands for what, guys? Azure Data Factory. And ADB stands for what? Azure Databricks. And then we have the Synapse. And then we have the machine learning, guys. So apart from the machine learning, we also have an open AI. So open AI, and then we have the very advanced, okay, service, one of the cloud service by Azure, that is called as what? Fabric. Can you see it? These are all the cloud services provided, guys. These are all the cloud services provided. Okay. These are all the cloud services provided. What are those? What are those? ADF, ADB, Synapse, machine learning, open AI, and the Fabric, guys. These are all the cloud services provided, guys. Okay. So hence, can you see it? These all are nothing but, so guys, we can say this is a bunch of cloud services. It's a bunch of cloud services. So what does this cloud services does, guys? These cloud services does the following job. What is that? It can be used. That means these cloud services can be used. These cloud services can be used for what is that? These cloud services can be used for what, everyone? These cloud services can be used for what? Data migration. Then we have the next one as what? Data integration. Then we have the data summarization. Then we have the data visualization. So these are all the, guys, these are all the cloud services. Okay. And these are all the cloud services. We have it in the Azure Data Engineering. And using these cloud services, we can perform the following jobs, guys. Okay. Following job or task, whatever you say it. That is called as what? Data migration, data integration, data summarization, and as well as the data visualization. Now, guys, the whole story here, as per the yesterday's session, the whole story here starts from what, guys? Data. That is called as what? Collection of data. So from where do we get the data, guys? The data we get it from what? Everyone. The data we get always the data from where? From the that is nothing but various sources. That means data we can get it from the various sources, guys. Okay. What is the source? Source is nothing but the a place from where we get the data, or the business from where we get the data, guys. Okay. So ultimately the data is generated by where? At a place where the business is carried out. Am I right or not? Ultimately, okay. Now, guys, let's take an example of our DurgaSoft only. Okay. So they have a business of trading. Am I right, everyone? Yeah. Yes, guys. Am I audible? Hello. Please respond. I'm not able to hear you guys. You should respond it, guys. This is not a one-sided class. I want everyone to respond. If you're getting it, you respond it. If you don't getting it, respond it. Okay. So that interaction will be there. Okay. So what happens here, guys? Everyone. Okay. So DurgaSoft is a training. They does a training business. So what happens here? They have what is that? When it comes to this the DurgaSoft one, they're in a training. So they'll get the students' information. That is what data for them. Am I right or not? That is the data for them basically. So in the same way here also, every business depends on the data. So guys, data. So whereas data is generated at which level? At the business level. Am I right? And whereas the business is basically classified into what? Various categories, such as you can say social networking sites, as already you know, social networking sites. Okay, guys, and then you have what is it? The social networking sites that is called as Facebook, Twitter, Insta, etc. Then we have that is that called as what? Banking applications. Okay, guys, so banking applications, social networking sites, and apart from this, we have the next one. What is that, guys? Banking applications, social networking sites. It can be live streaming process. Okay, live stream process means what? It's a process where we get the rate on the continuous basis, guys. There will be no, okay, that is it just like a stock market where the rate of any stock, okay, any it will come down and go up. In the same way, you have also live streaming process, and then it can also be the human generated data, guys, or else it can also be the machine generated data. It can be the human generated data, machine generated data, guys, everyone. It can be the human generated data. It can be the machine generated data. Okay. It can be the human generated data, machine generated data. Okay, guys. Human generated data, machine generated data. And what is the other form of data you have it, guys, everyone? Huh? Human generated data, machine generated data. Okay. And you can also say, okay. Uh, that is about data we get it from the IoT sensors, etc. These are all called as what? Yes, guys, these all are called as what is it, everyone? These all are called as what? The sources of getting the data. Am I right? Various sources from where we get the data. So, whereas whatever the data we get it, guys, everyone, whatever the data we get it, this data is basically referred as or called as what data, guys, everyone? This is called as the big data. Big data means what? Massive amount of data. What is that, guys? Big data means what? Massive amount of data. That means you have a massive amount of data that is called as what? Big data. Massive amount of data. Big data is called as what? Massive amount of data. Wherein when we talk about the big data, guys, you have a massive amount of data. The big data is basically classified or categorized into three categories. What are those, guys? The first one we can say, everyone. What is the first one, guys? The first one we can say. Then you have the second one, and the next one you have it as a third one. That means the big data is classified into three categories. What are those, guys? The first one we can say it as what? Everyone, structured data. And the second one we call it as what, guys? Semi-structured data. And third one we call it as what? Unstructured data. So we have what's it? Structured data, semi-structured data, and as well as the unstructured data. So these are all the guys, these are all the varieties of data we can have: structured, semi-structured, and the unstructured. What is it? Structured, semi-structured, and the unstructured. Structured, semi-structured, and the unstructured. So these are the three varieties of data we can have it, guys. Okay. So as you know, guys, what is a structured data? A structured data is nothing but the data which is kept in the proper form of a, yes, guys, the data which is kept in the proper form of a table. So a table is what, everyone? A table is the collection of what, everyone? Rows and columns. Am I right, everyone? Rows and columns. What is it? Rows and columns. A table is the collection of what? Rows and columns. And then you have the next one, that's what? Semi-structured. The semi-structured data. Yes, guys. The semi-structured data, everyone. The semi-structured data is nothing but the data which is recorded in the form of, what is that, everyone? The data which is recorded in the form of a, yes, JSON file or HTML file. That means user cannot understand it fully, but still the user can have it. Okay. Then you have the XML file, etc. Many more formats of the files are there where you have the data in the semi-structured format, not in the fully structured. That means the user can understand it, but not fully, guys. Okay. So, okay, everyone, this is called as what? The same we have it. The next one after this, okay, guys, everyone. So after this, you have the unstructured. So unstructured means what? The data where, guys, the data where there is no structure, no structure for the data. No structure for the data, no structure for the data. Such as, what is the no structure for the data means what, guys? Okay. I can say here, for example, you have the photos, photos, videos, photos, videos, chat history. Hmm. Okay, so you have what's it? All these are photos, videos, chat history. These are all called as what? These are all called as what, guys? These are all called as what? Unstructured data. So these are the three varieties of data we have it. Okay. But when we talk about the storage of this data, in Azure, where do we store this data? This data, we store it into the following storages. What do we call here, guys? These are called as what? Azure storages. They're called as what? Azure storages. Okay, we have it as what? Azure storages. So what's it? You have it? Azure storages. So that means the data we can store it into the Azure storages. The data we can store it into the Azure storages. Okay. So the data we can store it into what? Azure storages. So what is it we can say? Azure storages. So whatever the type of data we have it, for every type of data, for every type of different data, the data can be recorded into the Azure storages. What are the Azure storages we have it, guys? The first one we can say, guys, the Azure storage. The first type of storage, that is called as what? We can say Azure blob storage. Guys, Azure blob storage. And what do you mean by blob, guys? Everyone, do you have any idea? The blob stands for binary large object. Everyone, the blob stands for what? Binary large object. Okay, wherein this is a limited storage, which we can, where we can store, what is that? Structured data, guys. Yes, what we can do? We can store the structured data. We can store the semi-structured data and unstructured data. All the varieties of data we can store it. Structured data, semi-structured data, unstructured data. These are all the varieties of data we can store it here, guys. Then apart from this, we have the next type of storage, guys, that we call it here as what? Azure Data Lake Gen 1. But this has retired as yesterday we have discussed in June 2024. So now you need not worry on this. But in replacement of this Gen 1, they have introduced one more storage that is called as what? Azure Data Lake Gen 2, wherein here we can store the data, all the data, whatever the data you can find it here, that we can store it into the Azure Data Lake Gen 2. What is the difference you have it, guys? Here you can store it in unlimited form. No limitation for the data. We can store unlimited data, guys. Okay. You can store the unlimited data. And then you have also unlimited data. We can store it. The next one, guys. Apart from this, we can also store the data in what's it? Azure SQL database. So Azure SQL database means what? Normally we call it as what, guys? SQL server. Now, everyone, we call it a SQL server on-premises. That on-premises SQL server here, it is called as what? Azure SQL database. And when you talk about the Azure SQL database, guys, it can store only the structured data. No other form of data is stored except the structured data. That means the data which we have it in the form of a table, the data which we have it in the form of a table, the data which we have it in the form of a table will be stored here. And about the limitation, you can store whatever the amount of volume you have it, but for that you have to choose at the time of creating it the storage level, how much data you want to store it. Okay, whether the data is in the GB, TB, PIB, we have to decide it then before itself. Then you have the next one is what? Azure, guys. Azure Cosmos DB. Azure Cosmos DB, guys, everyone. Azure Cosmos DB, wherein you have what's it? The Azure Cosmos DB. Okay, the Azure Cosmos DB. So the Cosmos DB is nothing but it's another one we have it where we can store structure and the semi-structured. Both the data we can store it here, guys. Okay, structure and the semi-structured. Cosmos DB is another type of a database where we can store the structure and the semi-structured data. Both the data we can store it, guys. Okay, so whereas why we can store, because this is called as a no SQL database. What it is called as what? No SQL. That means there will be no SQL language used. That is the reason why we can store only the that is we can store the structure and the semi-structure. Okay, that means we can store the files. Okay, we can store the files, and as well as we can store the files, and as well as we can store the same here. Okay, guys, so that's it. And the next storage you have it here as what is it, guys, everyone? The sixth storage I can say that is called as what? Azure Synapse Analytics. So Azure Synapse Analytics is what? Basically, it can store only the structure. Why? I'll tell you. The Azure Synapse Analytics is nothing but this is called as the data warehouse of Azure. What it is called as what? Data warehouse of Azure. Data warehouse of Azure. It is called as what? Data warehouse of Azure, guys. Okay. It is called as what? Data warehouse of Azure. So that means what? The final layer of the data, where the data is, which is used for cleansing purpose, data cleansing purpose, data analysis purpose, or any other form of things we can use it. For the data which is stored in the final layer of the same. So hence we say it as what, guys, everyone? Hence we say it as what, everyone? We say it as what? We can say here. Okay, we can say it here as what? That is nothing but Azure Synapse Analytics. Azure Synapse Analytics. So likewise, guys, everyone, likewise, we have many storages. So here we can say I'll label one more Azure Elastic Pool. So Azure Elastic Pools mean what? Here you can store the guys varieties of data. You can store what's that? Varieties of data which is stored in the database. Multiple databases which can be stored at a place is called as what? Elastic Pool. So Elastic Pool, it is nothing but a place where multiple databases can be stored. That means here only the structured data is supported here, guys. Okay, everyone. Here only what's it? Uh, Structured data. And the next one, we can also have it as what? Everyone. We can also have it here as the everyone. We can also have what? Azure on-prem on-prem SQL Server. Okay, on-prem SQL Server, Azure Virtual Machine. Azure Virtual Machine, on-prem virtual machine. You can say on-prem virtual machine. What is that? On-prem virtual machine. Azure on-prem virtual machine. And this virtual machine can be defined for what? SQL Server, or else it can be defined for the file system or anything, guys, etc. Okay. So that means if it is a file system, it supports the structure and semi-structure. If it is SQL Server, only structured data. So likewise, you have many other storages are there, guys. Totally, if we count it, so it will be 90 plus approximately, I can say. How many? 90 plus storages, guys. Okay. Clear, everyone? So now, guys, how to begin the practicals on this? So first of all, I will tell you how to log in here. Use here azure.com. Everyone, use it as what? Azure.com. Use it as what, guys, everyone? Azure.com. Azure.com means what? You have to use a website that is called as Azure.com to log in here. Okay. So once you have used the Azure.com, guys, okay. Once you have used the Azure.com, okay. So once you use the Azure.com, everyone, once you use the Azure.com, you have to provide your name, mail ID, all the details, okay, address, pin code. That is anyways, you will have to give it by yourself. And once it is done, guys, finally, what is that you have to do, everyone? Finally, you will have to use a debit or credit card, guys. Debit or credit card. Master or Visa card is supported, guys. Any debit or any credit card you can use it, okay? So once it is done, everyone, it will charge only 2 rupees from your debit or credit card just for the verification purpose. And the same will be returned it back to your account in the next 8 days, guys, just for the verification purpose. And it will give you free subscription for 1 month with 1500 points, with sorry 15,000 points. With how many? 15,000 points it will give you, that you can use it here. 15,000 points. Okay. So you can use the 15,000 points, guys, everyone. You can use the 15,000 points. Okay. So that's it, guys. So let's try to go ahead. So finally, you will be rerouted back to this portal, portal.azure.com. So from this, you will be working on the same. So now I'll show you this, guys, everyone. Just have a look on this. So I'm starting up the session. See here, everyone. This is the thing we have type it here, Azure.com. If you use the Azure.com, guys, here you will have it, everyone. Here you will have it. What is it? Can see sign in is there, get started, anything you can use it. I'm using get started now. So it will ask you whether you want to use the Azure for free or you want to go for the pay as you go model. So okay, so now guys, anyways, okay, I want to use the pay as you go model. So click on this. Directly you have to sign up here. See, right now it won't charge you anything except 2 rupees. Nothing will be there. See, I'm already registered. This is my mail ID. It's giving it. Okay. So that's it. Finally, what it will do, guys, it will reroute you back to this web page. What's the web page? That is called as portal.azure.com. Okay. This is your web page. So finally, all the things which you wanted to see, that is services, click on the more services. These are all the services you have it here. See, 11 containers means what? 11 storages, container storages, 19 database storages. Likewise, 11 plus 19, 30. Okay. Then you have what's it? All of them. Many storages are there, everyone. So, guys, I'll just show you for more storages also. Storage, 17 storage, 30 plus 17, 47. 47 storages here, here itself we got it. Okay. So likewise, if you count it individually, so guys, it will come again, what is it? More than that. Okay. So this is the thing we have it, guys. So everyone, I request you to take the subscription and we will start the session practicals from tomorrow onwards. And from tomorrow onwards, it's a paid link, guys. So everyone, those who are interested can get registered and we can get the recording on a daily basis. And we'll be starting up the session from tomorrow. Okay. So that's it, guys. Any other questions? If you have, please let me know. Yeah. Any questions for me, guys? So you'll get the soft copy material and the videos on the daily basis. Okay. So just if in case you have any doubt, if somebody wants to talk to me, okay, you have my number. I'm just giving you in the chat box. This is my number, guys. Okay. This is my number, everyone. So you can take my number. So my name is Samir and you can just call me as well. So here I'm giving it, guys. I'm writing it my number here also. This is the number, guys. Okay, everyone. This is the number. If you want, you can just contact me. You can discuss anything if you require. Okay. So that's it, guys. For the day now. If any other questions you have, you can ask me, please. Okay. So that's it. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone, for the session now, and we'll just continue tomorrow. Okay.